Hello, my name is Daryl. Welcome to the training for Work Management Enhancements in Oracle Work and Asset Cloud Service. In this session, we'll talk about additional zones on the project portal in Work Management. For the capabilities covered in this training, we'll give an overview, followed by more detail to explain how you can use them and what business value they bring. Then we'll walk you through a demonstration. Next, we'll explain what you need to consider before enabling these features in your business and what you need to know to set them up. This capability will provide you with the ability to capture all the details about the project and all records associated with the project and its subprojects all in one place without having to go searching for them. Those details include planned and actual start and end dates, all planned and actual costs, and a visual representation of the project hierarchy, work orders, activities, timesheets, work designs, and purchase orders. The benefits of these additional zones are that the planner or project manager can see all aspects of the project in one place, reducing the time spent searching for those records and enabling the planner or project manager to make better budgeting decisions and timeline adjustments. This demonstration shows you how the additional zones on the project portal can enhance your business. As you can see, I'm already logged in and I've started on my home page. I'll navigate forward to a project I have already visited. Here's the project we're going to explore. Its description. Note that it's configured to not allow charges directly to this project. And it's at started status. And we have an actual start date in 2015. This is the value representing this project when it appears on a financial transaction. And here's the project budget. We'll scroll down to the Child Project Info Zone. And here we see all the child or sub-projects underneath this parent project. Here's the budget for each sub-project and the estimate when the project was approved, the current estimate, which might be different from when it was initially approved. This is the amount for any purchase order in issued status that have been written against this project. And of course the actual charges. We'll move on and look at the Cost tab. Here is the project cost summary. The costs are split up by cost categories: material, miscellaneous, labor, and equipment. It's the original estimate when the projects or the objects being charged were initially approved. And here's the current estimate, and charges for any POs at issued status, and actual charges. We can broadcast one of those cost categories to populate the project cost detail zone below. We see two activities where petty cash has been charged. And if we scroll to the right, we can see the actual charges. We'll scroll up back to the summary and we can see the total of those charges for $15.90. Let's move on to the new Tree View tab. And we have the project hierarchy zone showing the current project that we're on. And if we expand on the project, we'll see the sub-projects underneath this project. And like everywhere else in the application, if you see the blue hyperlink, if you were to click on that, you drill down right into one of those projects. Let's move on to the new Work tab. Here we see a graphic representation of all the work orders that have been written against this project or its child projects. We see them at approved, canceled, closed, and planning status. We'll scroll down to the work order zone. And here we see all work orders at non-final status. That would be not canceled and not closed. So we have one work order at planning status and one at approved. And if you look at the subproject column, you'll see that it's populated. That's your indication that the work orders were not written against the project you're on. And if we scroll back up to the work order status summary zone, here's a column showing the one work order at planning status and one at approved. We'll scroll down to the work activity status summary zone. And here we have a graphical representation of all the activities that were written against this project or one of its sub-projects. We're seeing that there's 2 activities at canceled status, 11 at completed, 1 at finished, 2 at in progress, and 2 at planning status. We'll scroll down to the work activity zone. And we see that we have a total of 5 activities that are at non-final status. And if we scroll to the right, we'll see the sub-projects. You might notice that all the sub-projects are populated. That's because if you remember, this project did not allow charges directly to it. So you could only charge to a sub-project of it. Let's move on to the new Timesheet tab. Here we see the timesheet detail rows that have been charged to this project, its sub-projects, or activities that reference the sub-projects. And if you scroll to the right, you'll see the various sub-projects. Let's take a look at the new Work Design tab. This project didn't actually have any designs charged against it or its sub-projects, so I've navigated forward to a project that does have work designs charged against it or its sub-projects. And unlike our original project, this project does allow charges against it. And here we have 2 work designs that have been charged against this project. And if you scroll to the right, you'll see the sub-project column is empty. That's your indication that these designs were charged directly to this project. And on to the new Purchase Order tab. And here we see that there's only 1 purchase order that has been charged against this project or its sub-projects. And if we scroll to the right, we'll see that the sub-project field is empty, indicating that the purchase order was charged against this project. Let's move on to the final tab on the project portal, the Log tab. In the project log zone, we see the various statuses that this project has gone through. It started at created, then it was transitioned to pending approval. An approval request was created, it was then approved, and finally started. And if we take a look at the approval request history zone, we'll see any of the approval requests that were issued against this project, and we could drill down to them to see who actually approved the project. That about does it for the demo. Let's move on to implementation advice. In this section, we provide implementation considerations and setup instructions for the enhancements covered. Additional zones on the project portal are delivered ready to use and will have a larger scale impact on your current business processes. The feature can be accessed using privileges configured for user profiles, user groups, application services, and their associated access modes. The business processes associated with this feature are work planning and project planning and budgeting. This concludes this presentation. Thank you for listening. You can easily pause and rewind any of these slides if you require additional time to take in the detail.